Huh.
Hey,
Hey, man.
what'd you watch today?
Ooh. I watched a couple of things today. Actually, no, that's wrong. I watched one thing today. I rewatched Loki.
Yes.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
And it was good.
It was very good.
Which is why I wanted to watch it again, because it was good.
And there's a lot in this episode that happens.
There is a lot in this episode that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, that's good.
That's not a bad beer at all.
Nope. No, it ain't. But, yeah. We're continuing with Firestone. Firestone beers.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the old Mind Haze.
Mind Haze.
Mind Haze today. It's a hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
As you might guess from the fact that it has haze in its name. I know that's pretty unpopular with hazy beers to make puns. But, here they are. Doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
And it's Mind Haze.
Ooh.
We actually reviewed the double version of this beer in one of our more recent videos. Description below.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, this is actually our first time doing the regular Mind Haze, which came out way before
Yep.
the double.
Yep.
I have always quite liked this beer,
but
I'm obviously not like a regular drinker of hazies, so I never really gravitated towards this beer as something to get very often.
Same.
But, it's a good beer to have on hand when what you normally buy is high bitter, high alcohol IPAs. And sometimes you just kind of need to change it up a little bit. Throw in some haze, throw in some fruitiness.
And since it's getting a little
kind of give it a little bit lower alcohol content.
6.2. So
6.2.
It's a little bit lower.
It's not
It's not super low.
lame,
No.
but it's not high.
Yep.
It's kind of in that sweet spot of it can get you drunk, but if you're careful, you'll be fine drinking these most of the time.
Yep. And since it's getting warmer right now, this is a good refreshing beer. Especially since it's got that nice fruity flavor going for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just overall, it's a nice beer.
Yeah.
What'd you rate the beer?
Get a little bit of blueberry on it. I'm not sure if that's influenced by the color of the can, because it's blue. But it's kind of what I taste.
I can taste it.
You can get some
I
blueberry.
can get a little bit of blueberry in there.
A little subjective, impulses there.
Yes, the blue can. It's blueberries.
Blue cans, blueberries. I said blueberries, so now you're thinking blueberries, and then you taste the beer, and you're like, yeah, blueberries. Could be a thing, could not be a thing. I'm not entirely sure. That's just what I'm tasting right now, man.
Yep.
It's still a 3.5 beer for me. I like it. I'd go back to it, but it's not something I'd regularly buy, because I just generally prefer something hoppier.
True. Yeah, I'd agree with you. 3.5. It's a little too in the middle of the road, especially since it just follows the same patterns as a whole lot of other
hazies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, it's Firestone, so they're pretty generally reasonably priced. As a lot of other hazies that might be better than this are going to go for $2-3 more for a 4-pack as opposed to this being a 6-pack.
12.
And this was a 12-pack. And it was actually still a pretty decent price, too.
$17.99.
Yeah, less than $20 for a 12-pack. That's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's at least $9 or less.
Yep.
For a 6-pack.
Yep.
And that's
reasonable. Nice. That's nice.
Actually really good for a craft beer.
For a craft beer, that's nice.
Yeah. It's tough these days to get anything less than $6 that actually tastes pretty decent.
True facts.
I mean, you got your Sapporos and stuff like that, but those just don't taste like almost anything.
Yeah,
if anything, you're like tasting
lighter.
the subtleties of the barley.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever. Tangents. Congratulations, you have reached the end of our first tangent.
So, what was your favorite? What was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh man,
there was a few. There was a bunch of good parts of this episode.
Obviously, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen the episode, why are you watching this in the first place? The final reveal. Well, actually, no. I Need a Hero. When that whole sequence went down, and she brainwashes the one chick, and she kicks shit out of everybody else.
C30?
C20, I think.
Yeah, you're right, C20.
That whole sequence was great.
Yes.
And it heavily leaned towards the whole idea of the Lady Loki reveal. Mm-hmm. Which was heavily foreshadowed in the first episode as well.
Yep. So they're playing that song so much these days.
Oh my god, right?
I Need a Hero was in the Guardians of the Galaxy video game trailer. It was in the new He-Man Master of the Universe trailer.
It plays in grocery stores.
It's like they're playing it a lot
it's
recently.
Everywhere. It really is everywhere. But man, does that song get you pumped or what?
Oh, totally.
Like, I don't care how much I listen to that song. Every time I'm just like...
That's why it's on my leg day playlist.
That's a great song for that playlist.
Yep.
I mean, damn, dude, that song is rad.
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
It's got a great rhythm.
I just wasn't expecting to hear it so much within pop culture.
Oh yeah,
and the last week
it's definitely exploded.
The last week
For
is
sure.
like I've just been hearing it so many different times. I think I've heard it in like 2 different commercials too.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude, how much have we even talked about the episode? Like,
we just started.
Not at all.
Well, we were talking about the beer.
I know, but.
And then you talked about your favorite part, which was the I Need a Hero part. And
then we talked about
the song.
It's
a good song. But, let's see. Mine would be... let's see. That's a little tough, because there really was a lot of really good parts to it.
There's a lot of definitive parts in it.
Yeah, there really is. Okay, so my favorite part was the whole banter between Mobius and Loki. Not when Loki is destroying the salad, but the one after they where they're sitting in front of like the open view and everything, and where that's when Owen Wilson gives the whole speech about the jet skis.
Yeah.
But like you also get
the whole thing about the jet skis is like really a weirdly poignant character trait.
Exactly, and but at the same time you get that really good quotes from Owen Wilson about like for one brief shining moment in the early 1990s. It's like something beautiful happened.
Perfection of form and function.
Yes, exactly.
The jet ski.
And then like you get the callback to, and then there's Loki's quote where he's like, "There's one thing as a child that I know more than any other child. It's that one bad is never truly bad, and one good is never truly good."
Yeah.
So I like that
Except for
quote.
Captain America.
Except for Captain America, yes, because
It was the epitome of good.
yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I really like that. I really like that whole part, just because like the whole back and forth between the two characters, it's like they're still doing a chess match between each other, but like you it's really at this point where you get a really good feel for the two characters. They're starting to grow on each other.
They're definitely, yeah.
And there's also a lot of foreshadowing as to something like might happen with Loki getting Mobius's job.
Yeah.
Or something happening to Mobius where Loki might have to take over in finding other variants. So that was interesting. I thought that was interesting.
That would be saying that the TVA still continues to be a thing.
Well, this is a great segment into going into speculation for episode 3.
Yeah.
But which, by the way, I called the gigantic spread of all the different timelines in this episode.
Yes, you did.
I was kind of hoping it would happen in like the middle of the season.
I'm actually really excited that it's happening.
But I like that they did. I
did.
like that they did it in this second episode because it just opens that much more possibilities up, with different timelines, and also if you look through on Ravona's screen as it's like pans there real quick, if you pause it, you can see all the different times and dates and areas. There's a bunch of them. There's one on Titan. There's one on there's Shanghai. There's New York. There's Ego. There's Asgard. There's Xandar. There's all kinds of different places. And if you look throughout history on some of the Earth ones, there's actual historic events that happen in those timelines, which is also really very interesting because they did their homework on time. So I thought that was very cool. I think. Sorry.
I that was great. I loved all of that. I didn't realize any of that.
I think that the Lady Loki did this on purpose to not only weaken the amount of defenses at the TVA, but also to spread out all their highest enforcers out onto so many different timelines to stop a Nexus event from getting to the red line. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to make it to all of them. I think there might be at least one that causes a Nexus event to go past the red line, therefore causing the multiverse to kind of shift into an actual multiverse. Yeah. Which would also lead to back to Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, that seems kind of almost subtle compared to what it seems like they're doing, to me at least. I see all those branches going off and all these TVA agents going out, but who's to say that Lady Loki didn't fucking set those resets right where the TVA would show up, so that they're all just kind of walking.
They're walking right into the trap. That'd be interesting.
And then they get pruned off the bat.
Because they do have to show up in real time to all of the branches.
Yeah, and we saw that she had dozens.
Yeah, there was a lot. She's been planning this for a while.
Yeah.
I also think that in the next episode is where we'll see Lady Loki and the TVA trying to get to the Timekeepers.
Yeah. Yeah, it almost seems like there was a theory that I heard where somebody ascended to the point of being a timekeeper, and they used their power to basically set up the sacred timeline in order to ensure that he would always be a timekeeper.
Interesting. I like that. That's a good one.
You know, something like way extraterrestrial, like
I like that.
for what it could be.
Loki also keeps referring to them as lizards.
Yes.
So I think that's very interesting, and especially when they cut to the Ravona's office, and the first one you see is the timekeeper, and he's very scaly and lizard looking.
Yeah.
Also, they show the beginning video, the animated video. One of the timekeepers looks female or more feminine, but when you look at all the other statues and everything else, they all are very masculine looking. So I mean, I'm like, are they, like, do they switch? Are they, are you right in, like, they, like, eventually one of the TVA gets promoted far enough that they become a timekeeper? Or is it the fact that, like...
There's so many more possibilities!
I mean, well,
oh my god!
I mean, when you're dealing with time...
Branches in reality.
Exactly, when you're dealing with time, there's infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
Plus, I think that one of the speculations you mentioned to me earlier was that that the timekeepers are in a pocket dimension.
Yeah.
I did like that, and that would explain why the timekeepers are essentially looking at everything from beginning to end.
Yeah, they're in a sort of pocket dimension that would allow them to oversee the entirety of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, as Mobius puts it, that the end of time isn't actually written yet.
Yeah, they're untangling.
They're still
the
untangling
multiverse.
the multiverse of infinite possibilities to continue to construct the sacred timeline. Which is why they're never present in actual TVA going on.
Yeah, which explains why nobody's ever seen them. That would also explain, like, where they would have been if they are in a pocket dimension outside of reality, which is also where the TVA also lands.
Yeah,
because again,
obviously time doesn't work the same for them as it does the sacred timeline.
Exactly. That also, like, explains why no magic really works in the TVA.
Yeah,
because there's no semblance of, like, I guess how would you put it? Of, in, like, ethereal, like manifestations, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But I mean, like, or at least, or at least, at the very least, they can, like, they have such control over what magic is, based on a person's aura. Because they can actually sense a person's aura. So
when Loki went through, the little person observed his temporal aura.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, that's got to be their overall likeness in between each dimension. For each variant of Loki, that temporal aura is identifying to a Loki because they, at the very core, are the same person. Just among different dimensions, they vary quite significantly.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more speculation. Because of the whole spiel about illusions and doubles that Loki was giving before they first go off to the Ren Fair, that's going to come into play down the line, and he's going to use that to trick Lady Loki. And that's how they're either going to capture Lady Loki or reset her, essentially. Like, he's going to stab Owen Wilson's character in the back, creating an illusion of him like being stabbed in the back, without him actually being stabbed, and he's gonna either get Lady Loki that way.
So basically, his death scene in Thor: Dark World.
Yeah, because there has to be a reason. There has to be a reason why. There has to be a reason why.
4 in the morning.
There has to be a reason why they're like. He went into that massive spiel. Either that, or it could be just a red herring, and I'm going off of nothing.
I mean, dude, with these shows, they have proven that you really have no freaking clue where they're to go.
Mm-hmm. You might get little snippets right.
Yeah.
But
even with something as straightforward as Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, it was so obvious that you thought it couldn't possibly be that conclusion. And yet, there it was. Freaking Sharon Carter being the power broker.
Yeah, like...
So, like,
I'm still,
that was actually kind of irritating.
Still angry about that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, still angry about that.
Yeah. I need to see a timeline.
Right.
Like, how did this happen? Like,
right.
what are the steps that you have to do to become the power broker?
Exactly.
I'm like, come on. Is it a title?
Yeah, right?
Did she freaking kill the previous power broker in the Highlander's freaking position? Is that what happened? Come on! Tell me!
I must know!
I need to know why are you withholding?
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I hope, I mean, like, there's just so many infinite possibilities dealing with time, like, we just don't know, like, I'm surprised I even got anything right. That's like...
I mean, the first episode was pretty straightforward for the most part.
Yeah. Very little...
Give you its little Easter eggs and things here and there, but, you know, it kind of led you in a slightly predictable path. The second episode went completely off the rails and just threw you into, well, yeah, sure, anything can literally happen at this point.
Yep.
They've completely gone off the rails and thrown in a metric fuck ton of realities.
So
that
many
could reach red line in literally no time.
So many variants.
Yeah. And this is gotta be it. This is what introduces the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, all the new properties that Marvel has obtained. Disney has obtained for Marvel.
Yep. I'm expecting another, because they hinted at King the Conqueror in this episode, so I'm hoping there's a little bit more.
Yes,
a little bit more.
At that.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's just another hint. Maybe not the next episode, but like maybe the 4th or 5th. I'm gonna say the 5th, just to be safe. That like we either get like a more bigger introduction into the character, or like we see the character becoming King the Conqueror. Something like that.
I could see something like that possibly happening towards the end of episode 4. That way we have episode 5 to fully focus on the character, and episode 6 to see where everything is going to go.
I can see that.
Because, yeah, that whole thing would be fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
So, they'd have to make it pretty spectacular for that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I could see it breaking down like that.
I could see it. It'd be nice. It's gonna be... no matter what happens, this series is panning out to be very, very nice and very entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, super entertaining. Owen Wilson is freaking killing it. Like, I love Mobius as a character. And a lot of it has to do with the way Owen Wilson acts. it's very him, but it's also really appropriate for the character itself.
True.
So it really works.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when you perfectly cast Nick Cage into a role of being super freaking weird, a la Face Off.
Yep.
Where it's just like his weirdness just elevates the movie.
Yep.
Otherwise, that movie would have been complete garbage. It was still bad, but Nicolas Cage's weirdness just elevates it to the cult classic that it is.
True. And we'll eventually talk about that movie. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah. I actually might not be here for that one.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Like, damn. Ever since the first episode, I'm like, shit, I wish I had waited 6 weeks and just watched this all at once.
Yeah, true.
Because this show is addicting.
Well, I mean, after the 6th episode happens, we'll have to watch all 6 of them in order.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Especially with our looking back on it. You know, like, oh yeah, I remember being right about this. And, oh yeah, you were right about that.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
It will be.
Here's to you.
Here's to me.
Friends for life should always be.
If by chance we disagree.
Screw you.
And here's to me. I had like a sip left this time.
I kind of held on to mine.
Cheers.
Cheers.